who we are. We're a nationwide lead provider. Foreclosures Daily has been in business since 2004. And since then, we've been the internet's #1 destination for the most detailed, timely planet on the planet, guys. Like, we're huge. Like, all of our leads are weekly and fresh. They're all farm for real estate. So it's really important you understand. I'm Tangi Cousins. I've been with Foreclosures Daily since 2004. And since then, I've helped many investors, realtors, and attorneys grow their business and increase their revenues. I do teach the do's and don'ts of marketing. Sometimes I'll be the main speaker, but most of the time we host monthly webinars for speakers just to give you guys free information just for being a customer here at ForeclosuresDaily.com or a prospect. Now, my name is Tangi Cousins. My email is tangi@ForeclosuresDaily.com. If you guys got any questions after the webinar, you can email me or your representative that you're working with here already. Here's some of the ways that we are different. All of our leads are weekly and fresh and has real estate attached. It's very important you understand the importance of that. 300 people will file probate or divorce in 1 week, and maybe only 15 will have property. We're going to give you only the 15 that have property. Other companies will give you all 300. Nobody wants to market to 300 people when they only needed to market to 15. Most companies we found are quarterly and they're not farming for property. I've been doing this for 20 years. I've not found one company that has weekly fresh data that's physically being farmed for real estate. Some of the leads that we offer here at Foreclosures Daily are probate, pre-probate, inheritance, code violation, eviction, divorce. Every single Wednesday, guys, you're going to have brand spanking new leads to go after. Every single Wednesday, you'll have access to our online portal, and you'll be able to export your leads to an XLS or a CSV spreadsheet. Never going to get more than 25 leads a week. I know it's a small amount, guys, and you guys are working like volume by numbers here. You don't have to market to 10,000 leads to get the response rates that you're looking for. When you work these types of leads, you're going to be getting a niche group of people, but yielding a massive response rate, versus working 10,000 leads, spending a lot of money on marketing to people that don't even own real estate and don't have the motivation to sell. Things like probates, pre-probates by far are honestly some of the best leads you'll ever get. They have a lot of equity. They typically don't mind taking a discount and they're extremely motivated to sell their property. People are almost always older when they lose their parents. So they usually don't want the property. They typically want to sell their property. So you're dealing with very motivated sellers who typically want to sell versus people who don't. Those are just some of the leads that we do offer. Because my name is Tangi Cousins, I do have a code. It's TLC 1000. So if you're on this webinar and you don't have a representative that you're working with, fill out our form and put in TLC 1000. We will give you a discount. If you're already working with a rep, they'll take good care of you after the webinar. We are going to be offering some bonuses on the end of this webinar. And then, guys, I'm going to go ahead and talk about our speaker for just a few moments. I'm going to go ahead and let you know before we do that, we are going to be offering some bonuses at the end of this webinar. We're going to be doing some special things. Ruby's also going to be doing some special things for you at the end of the webinar too. So make sure you stay until the very end because you will not be available to reach out to us to get any of these products that we're offering after the webinar. We're going to give you until Friday to take advantage of our special bonuses. Ruby's got some awesome good things to tell you guys about. Now, every single Wednesday, like I was saying, guys, you're going to be able to access our leads and download them onto an XLS or a CSV spreadsheet. Now, I was talking about the small niche group of people. 300 people might file a probate or divorce in 1 week. And like I said, maybe only a small, tiny amount of them are going to have real estate. You don't want to market to 300 people and only 15 have property. And check out this awesome book, guys. We're going to mail this book to every single person who subscribes to Foreclosures Daily. It's Probate Real Estate Sales 101. The author is Kevin Sales. Sometimes we have him on our webinar teaching the 7 ways to make money with probate real estate investing. So when you subscribe to Foreclosures Daily, you also get a free book. Guys, I'm going to stop sharing my screen briefly in just a moment here. Ruby's going to get ready and show her screen in a brief moment. Now, these are the postcards that we recommend, guys. Some of the things that you do get when you buy access to ForeclosuresDaily.com is you get a lot of marketing and tools necessary that I put together for you and the company's put together for you to help you be more successful. Some of the postcards have a picture of their house on it. Guys, the national average response rate to any mail marketing is like 0.5 to 1.5%. I literally have people getting 3, 5, 10, and 15% response rates with these types of postcards. We also offer letters. This is a handwritten letter. We're using handwritten font. This is only 64 cents with postage. The postcards are 38 to 42 cents with postage. Most companies offer 10 to probably actually almost $1 to mail those postcards for you. These postcards, they'll mail for you for only 38 to 42 cents with postage. And this letter with the handwritten font, companies charge like $1.10 to do that. This company charges like 64 cents with postage. We also have marketing by hand. If you want more of a personal touch, they actually manually handwrite every single letter for you. So if you're looking for more of a personal touch, marketing by hand is definitely your go-to, people. So these are some of the bonuses that you do get. You get my 6-step mailing campaign. You get my 6-touch campaign. You guys are going to get all my phone scripts. I'm going to give you an email to send to the attorney expressing interest in the said property. That's going to help you build a relationship with them. So they'll probably start sharing a lot of their properties with you too. I'm also going to give you the postcards and letters that I've handpicked out for you that have been very, very successful. You're going to get that probate book we just talked about. You're going to get special links to receive reduced mail rates and a special link to receive reduced skip tracing. Guys, the skip tracing company we offer that also does your mailers only charges 10 cents. And the benefit of using them is they're going to get you the most likely to be the next of kin or surrounding family members of the decedent so that you can reach out to the actual person that's handling the probate case. You're going to get a lot of different things, unique marketing techniques. You'll get my 1.5-hour long webinar of me teaching the do's and don'ts of marketing and stuff like that. So, all right, guys, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start getting your speaker ready, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And when I stop sharing my screen right now, she's going to start sharing hers. And guys, Ruby, she started Megafox Properties in 2018. In her first year in business, she made $1,000, guys, right? $1,000 in her business. And by 2020, she flipped hundreds and hundreds of properties. And she now has a 7-figure flipping business. Guys, she spends a few hours of her personal time a week working on the business, not actually in the business. And tonight, she's going to teach you guys how to place your business on autopilot. Ruby, hopefully you're out there. You're getting your screen ready to be shared. Go ahead and unmute yourself and start your video. Guys, while she's getting ready, we'll go ahead and look at ForeclosuresDaily.com. And you go to our YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got a lot of good webinars on there that we've done in the past that you can watch. Ruby, I could see you, then you went away for a second. All right, guys, she's going to share her screen here in just a brief moment. Go ahead and start your video again. We've been waiting quite a while to have Ruby on here. She's been our customer for a really long time, guys. She's been using Foreclosures and Probates Daily for quite a while. Hi, got you. How you doing?
Hey, doing good. Thank you. How are you? Thank you for
I'm doing good.
having me
Thanks for
tonight.
taking your time out to be on the webinar tonight. We appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, let me see if I can share my screen right now with you guys, and let's get started. All right, let me see.
I stopped my share, so you should be able to just hit share your screen.
All right, I don't know what happened here, but there you go.
Okay, you go ahead and start from the beginning.
All right. Perfect.
All right,
Can
here,
you
take it away. I'll talk to you in about 30 or 40 minutes. Let me know when you're ready to open it up to Q&A.
All right, thank you so much.
Hey, guys.
All right, guys. Well, I am so excited to be here with you guys tonight, just sharing a little bit about my experience and what has worked for me and what hasn't worked for me. So if you have a pen and paper, I will definitely, be sharing with you a lot of tips and a lot of things that help me to scale to 7 figures and also on autopilot. I think one of the biggest things when it comes to real estate is all of us, we want time freedom and we want financial freedom. And we just want to, live a lifestyle, right? Like being with our families and just enjoying life. So I think for me, that was very, very important. So tonight, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how my business scaled to 7 figures and with only a few hours of my personal time working on the business now and not in it. So if you are here, it's probably because you've been wondering, right? Can I hit 6 figures or 7 figures? I don't know where's your business right now, but you can definitely, scale your business to 7 figures. Maybe you're wondering, can I start spending less time of my personal time, right? Can I, when I first started flipping houses, this was taking all my day and including Saturdays and Sundays. And so it was just very overwhelming for me. It was too much to the point where I thought that flipping houses was not for me. I wanted to quit and I wanted to go and do something else, right? Maybe you're wondering, can I really automate my business, right? Like I'd say before, flipping houses can take a lot of your time, especially if you're managing everything from buying renovating and selling properties. And so tonight I want to share with you how you can delegate everything that you're doing right now, and so that you can work, less hours in your business. Another thing, or that you might be thinking, it's like, what am I doing wrong, right? Sometimes we're in this, just part of the time in our business where we feel like, what else can I do? Or what am I doing wrong, right? What do I need to change in my business? And for me, that's something that really helped me to scale the business. It's having time for myself to think about my business and to see what's working and what's not working. So, and that can be on vacation, that can be in a hotel room, right? On vacation, just trying to get some time for you and your business only. Can I spend less time or no money in marketing campaigns? There's a lot of marketing campaigns too that we do that wouldn't spend too much money in marketing campaigns. So I want to share it with that with you as well. All right, so imagine if you were getting 6 figures per month consistently on Autopilot. That, for me, I thought that I never knew that I could hit those 6 figures every month. When I first started to flip houses, I was just happy with 1 or 2 flips, right? And I just thought if I could do 1 flip and make $30,000-$40,000, then that basically was replacing what I was making on my W-2. So just imagine if you can do that. Now imagine if you can do $30,000, $80,000, $130,000, $150,000 just hitting your bank account while you're on vacation, right? Now the cool thing about this is that once you have a business that doesn't require you in it, that's when this really turns out to be almost like a cash flow business, right? So we all want rental properties, we all want passive income. And as soon as you start, implementing what I'm going to teach you tonight, I think you're going to be able to visualize better what I'm talking about here, when we can do it with flipping as well, that cash flow consistently. All right, so here's what happened to me. In 2018, I made $1,000, and in 2020, I hit $1 million in net profits. And after that, my life changed. I was able to take the vacations that I dream of with my family. I was able to buy things that I couldn't before. And it was really like a life changing for me. And so I definitely feel like, everyone who's in real estate deserves to scale their business. But not only that, I think the most important thing is having that time back. That is really what it pays off. And so after that, I started to, share with others and teach others what I was doing and how it worked for me, so that they can do it as well. All right, so who is this woman that's talking in here with you guys today, right? Guys, I'm no different than you. I actually came to USA when I was 8 years old. I didn't speak any English, so I don't know if you guys can hear my accent, but I had to learn basically everything, and it was really hard, right? Then I started to work in restaurants, remodeling, and all of that. But at one point in my life, I was like, no, I need to do something different. And I want to be that person in my family who breaks that those false beliefs, right? So I started investing in real estate. In the first time that I invested in real estate, I paid a $50,000 program to teach me how to flip houses. And I didn't have anything in my bank account. I only had $30,000 in my bank account. And then I sold my car for $25,000 just to get in this program. And that's how I started, flipping houses. But then I realized that was, not enough for me, because everyone flips houses, right? And you learn how to flip houses. And I don't think flip houses, it's a, it's a big science, but what it is actually how to scale it and how to automate it, how you can have a lifestyle while flipping houses. And that's when I started to invest a lot in my business, a lot of in acquisitions and in building a team and all of that, which I'm going to share with you guys today, and why it's important to do this now and not later. All right, so I'm 20. At 28 years old, I was able to, live financial freedom, and I was able to do things that I like. And what I like about, just doing, it's educating myself. I think education is really important. Masterminds, and also investing in your business. I think it's really, really important investing in your business, because it will pay you back. So every time you invest in the business, it will pay you back. And I think this is one of the things that a lot of people don't understand. And that's why, they're in the same hamster wheel, right? Flipping houses, maybe 10 years, 15 years, and they're still doing every single thing by themselves. So if you're doing everything by yourself right now, I want you to know, and I want to share with you how you can break that ice and you can start, delegating stuff in your business. All right, so here's me, my first check, $18,000. And I'm sorry, $18,000. In 2018, it was like 4,800 on a wholesale. And I honestly have done a lot of right things, but I also have done a lot of wrong things. So today I'm going to share with you what are those. In 2017, just 1 year before, I was self-employed. I was painting houses. I was being a handyman. we were doing all of this 5 years before. And so this definitely, that was not the lifestyle that I wanted. So then I learned about, real estate world, right? How can you become a millionaire by investing in real estate? So then I heard about this, and I was like, this is where I want to go. And I put all the faith, not only on, on learning this new skill, but also believing that everything is possible. So I did that, and then I started to flip houses. I knew I wanted to flip houses. I attempted my first property, and it was a flop because I only made $2,000. But since I had a business partner, we cut that in half, right? We went 50-50, and so we both made $1,000. And so we spent about 5 months on that property, and I spent a lot of time, a lot of energy. And so I can definitely share with you and show you how not to flip houses. That's something that I definitely learned. And but from there, I decided that I needed to hire someone. Like I say, I was doing every single thing by myself. So I hired my first team, hired two people, but nothing really changed, because then I was doing every single thing still, but with them. So instead of doing it by myself, I was putting door hangers, or I was doing valentines, or I was doing mailing campaigns. Like I was doing every single thing, but with them. So I thought that was going to change, but it didn't. And so in my first, but one thing that I did realize that was really, really important was that in my first 6 months of having a team, of hiring these individuals, I was able to do 30 transactions. And so in the first 6 months, and then from there we double, and then we started, do a lot of transactions. But it was just magical, because that's just 1 year or 6 months after I made my $1,000. And so that's when I was like, okay, wait a minute, there's some magic, right? There's some magic of hiring people. There's some magic of having a team. And so for me, one of the biggest things was that no one would do it perfectly, or no one would do it the same way as I will. So if you're thinking that right now, there's always, someone better than you, right? And so, but I didn't know that. I thought that because I was the business owner, that I was going to do it better than anyone in my team, and that I just, didn't trust anybody. But hey, not everyone has the entrepreneur mindset, right? And the responsibility to take a business to the next level. And so so it's really, really important. So if you're taking notes, I think that's a false belief. And I think if you change your mindset into, no, someone else can do it better than I, then that's when you can actually start delegating in your business. All right. So one of the mistakes, don't make this mistake, but one of the mistakes that I did when I wanted to scale my business was that I hired a team first instead of putting systems and procedures in place. So what do I mean with that? When you're ready to delegate, and if your team doesn't have the procedures and the systems that they need in order to repeatedly do a flip over and over again, from buying, renovating, and selling properties, then they're going to be making mistakes, and mistakes are going to cost you earnest money. They're going to cost you costs on repairs. They're going to cost you to pass on a lot of potential properties, right? And so you're losing a lot of money when you don't have systems in place. So that is the number one thing. So if you're writing notes, if you're taking notes, the first thing when you want to scale your business is you want procedures and you want systems before you bring someone on board. Now, so that's exactly what I did. I started to spend time and energy and a lot of money in building my systems and building procedures for my team so that they can perform, because that was the reason why they didn't perform in the first place without me, because they didn't have a blueprint of how to flip houses. Now, when I hit the $1 million, I thought that it was probably just going to be a one-time thing, right? But then in 2020, the next year, and the first quarter, in the first 3 months, I was already at $400,000. So building a team, it's super, super important. And I'm going to share with you here later on the slides how you can do it as well. So how did I went from $1,000 to consistently do 6 figures a month? So if you're ready, guys, I don't know if you guys are in the chat, but just put yes. We're just getting started. And I hope you guys already got a little bit of tips in there. But if you're ready, say, yes, I'm ready. Let's go. And then make sure that you guys are keeping that Q&A, that chat live in there, because I love seeing, that you guys are active and that you are there. It just helps me to give you more. So, so just keep those comments coming. All right. So how did I do this? Let's go over here. So I'm going to share with you guys 3 of my secrets, 3 of the secrets that are going to take you to the next level. So number one is how to acquire properties with no marketing. And what I mean with no marketing, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to do marketing, because marketing, it's really important, right? We need leads. We need deals. So that is really, really important. But I'm going to share with you how basically, or who's handling all of our marketing, and how we are leveraging other people to do it for us, right? So that we can spend less time. Number 2 is how to flip over 15 properties at the same time on Autopilot, and how to manage your flipping from anywhere. So like I said, I mean, you can be on vacation, right? You can be in a hotel room. You can be doing anything else, traveling, and still being able to flip houses from anywhere. All right. So if you're ready, let's go. All right. So number 1, how to acquire properties. So maybe you're spending a lot of time right now, energy in marketing. So that's exactly what I did. And when I first started, I wanted to build another business, and I did Mega Trust Home Buyers, because I wanted to just, hire a lot of people and then do a lot of things, a lot of the marketing with them. And but that was taking a lot of my time. I was working in the business Monday through Saturday from like 9 or 8 or 9 a.m. to like 5 p.m. And that was just taking a lot of my time. So one of the things that I realized is like there's more people. There's more people out there that can handle all of this for me, that they can do all of this for me without me having to do it all. And that they can also, I can leverage them to also spend money on marketing campaigns. And that's exactly what I did. So the secret to spend less time, less energy, and less money also on marketing campaigns is by outsourcing and delegating this task to a team. So I'm going to share with you here. Now, a lot of the times what we think is that we're, sometimes we're getting deals already, but we're not getting enough, right? And sometimes what we need is just to change the way we're doing things so that we can leverage other people and get, even better deals. So there's a difference between that, guys. And if you think that this is impossible, this is absolutely possible. We're doing this in a daily basis, and we're getting deals, we're leveraging other people, and you don't need to pay a team hourly. So that's another thing that a lot of the times we freak out, right? We're thinking like, okay, wait a minute. Like when you say having a team, do you mean paying someone an hourly salary, right? And being there with them? Like, what do you mean exactly? No. What I mean is paying someone, outsourcing so that they can do their own thing, right? And they can become their own bosses, right? And just leverage their resources, right? So that they can bring us deals. So let's look at what I'm talking about here. There's real estate agents, wholesalers, and we have our internal transaction coordinator and even contractors, right? So this is a team that I leverage to get deals. So instead of me, doing bandit signs, cold calling, mailing campaigns, like doing all of those, what we do is instead is we help and we teach our agents, our wholesalers, and even our internal team. We teach them where to get their leads. We have also we have our systems and our resources, like Tangi is one of them, Foreclosures Daily. And so we have all of those resources where they can get access to, and they can spend also dollars, right? They can spend money on all of those leads. And what we do is we buy from them. So for example, let's put it this way. Real estate agents, they have resources, right? Most of them, they may have a skip tracing company, right? And they have access to sending mailers, right? Maybe their broker is giving them, like, I have an agent who her broker will give her I think 100 to 200 letters a month for free. And so, but all she has to do is bring the data, right? Or who to send it to and all that kind of stuff. And so agents, they have a lot of resources already. And what we want to do is we want to leverage that and show them the way we do our business on acquisitions and our systems, so that they can do it for us. And that way we spend less time, less energy, and they're spending, in marketing campaigns. So for example, if my real estate agent, if they want to go and find me properties, what they do is, they can leverage, right, data from, we teach them to leverage data from Foreclosures Daily. And then from there, they leverage whatever their broker is giving them on monthly mail campaigns, and then they blast those out for us. So we're basically doing that because when we get a deal, right, they can even wholesale it to us. They can even send it to us, and we pay them a percentage for bringing the property, let's say 3%, right? Just if it was a MLS sale, and then 3% on the end when they sell the property. So learning how to leverage and how to work with these people, it's really important. For example, wholesalers, the same way. There's a lot of new wholesalers out there that they want to start the business, but they don't know how. So instead of me, instead of me doing it, we teach them. So we teach them. Once they learn, they're bringing us deals, and then they're able to, we'll become their priority because we give them the resources that they need in order to find deals. So we are, the first ones to bid on the properties after or before anyone else. Now, our team, our internal team, let's say our transaction coordinator, they have our transaction coordinator has his own acquisitions side hustle, where they get data, they send mail campaigns, they do bandit signs, they do all this this marketing for us so that we don't have to do it. Why? Because we motivate them. So one of the keys when it comes to leveraging other people is they need to have a motivation. So I don't know, guys, just put in the comments if you're understanding what I'm saying here. Is this making sense? I want to make sure that this is making sense for you guys. So just put it on the comments. But what I'm saying here is that you need to motivate people that are around, your place, your business that you're already working with, so that they can feel like, they need to gain more business somehow. So that's what we do. All right, perfect. All right, so yes, you guys are saying it's making sense. So we're good there. All right. Contractors is another way, we also, there's a lot of contractors like, hey, if you find me a deal, we'll give you a commission, right? Not commission, but a finder's fee. So we leverage all of this. So that way we keep more money in our pockets, and I don't get to spend time and energy on doing all of this myself. Now, and then I put in here just a 4-step for our agents. So we find real estate agents. I didn't put it for each of them because then it's going to take us probably all day. So agents, for example, we find real estate agents. We qualify them to make sure that they're a good fit for our business. We set up a pay structure, like how we're going to pay them if they're, leveraging our resources and everything that we have versus just them, bring us deals through the MLS or off market. And so we want to make sure that we're, very set with them, setting up expectations, and then we train them on our systems so that they can perform in our business. All right, so let's go over this right here. So if you notice anything, guys, you can absolutely do this too. You're probably already working with all these people. All you have to do is leverage the right way, and basically, making sure that that we're setting up expectations with our team and what is possible for them. I think it's really, really important. All right, so I used to spend a lot of time doing this, and now we're only spend on acquisitions, on trying to figure out if it's a deal or no deal. So we only spend about 15 minutes just to find out, like, hey, is this something that's worth looking at it or not? So I don't know how much time do you guys spend when it comes to finding a property and analyzing the property. Analyzing the property. So once it hits your queue, right? Once it hits your system, you got the lead. Like, do you spend 3 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours, maybe 1 day, 2 days, right? Maybe you need like 14-day due diligence to try to figure out if it's a deal or no deal. Well, you can do it within 15 minutes by having systems. So that's why it's really important. So when it comes to finding out, if it's deal or no deal, really important, guys. We always, and this is what we teach our team, because that's when that's part of the procedure and part of the systems is leveraging our time. And so when it comes to that, we have our profit evaluators that we need. So if you don't have one, make sure that definitely, you get one of those. And at the end, I'm going to give some bonuses as well to share with you on how you can, make quicker decisions on finding if it's a deal or not. All right, so here's some case studies, guys. All of these properties that you see here, they were all outsourced by our team, I call it external team because they're not in my payroll, but they're all bringing us deals, and they're leveraging, the resources that we have for them. And basically, we're getting paid for everything that we pay. So that's really cool. So there you go. So now let's do a quick recap. Remember, guys, you don't need to do every single thing yourself. You have to, learn how to outsource if you want to scale your business. And also, you don't need to spend a lot of time and energy on acquisitions. I think one of the biggest things when it comes to acquisitions, it's time. And time is really important because you got to make quick decisions. So if someone else is doing that, and then you're just making the final decision of, yes, this is a deal, or no, this is not a deal, or yes, send me the offer, I'll sign it, then that's where you want to be. That's what I do now, and my team as well. We only sign offers. And so, and that definitely, has been a big thing for us. So let me ask you guys a question. If you think you have the right acquisition team, and when I mean with acquisition team, it's leveraging other, other people that you're already working with. Can you spend little to no time in marketing campaigns? Can you do this? Can you do this too? All right. So, yes, I would do this. Yes, you can. Yes, absolutely. All right. Yes. Okay. So now let's go over to secret number 2, how to flip multiple properties at the same time on autopilot. So guys, a lot of times we think it is so hard to find contractors, right? Can I really do this like with multiple times? I'm sorry, with multiple properties and multiple times as well. But I don't know how many of you guys are flipping houses. Maybe just put it in the comments if you're flipping, let's say, just put how many properties are you flipping per year. I think that would be great. But one of the questions that I get a lot. Okay, so we have a lot of people that are, okay, how many? Okay, yep, we're about to hit that question there. So, all right, guys. So one of the things when it comes to flipping houses, right? We think like, how can I find good contractors? Or you need to design every single property. This is one of the biggest things for me when I first started, was like picking up colors, picking up vanities, I was in Home Depot and Lowe's almost every single day. So if you are flipping houses right now and you don't have a team, you know exactly what I'm talking about, just being in and out from Home Depot and Lowe's all day. And then, in my head, always just thinking about, colors and designs and all of that. And so we think that we have to do all of this, right? And it is so fun. And I want to share with you just this, because I think it's so important. I hear a lot of people that, and maybe it's you too, that you may be thinking like, but I enjoy doing it, right? Or I really enjoy flipping houses. Like, this is something that I love doing, like designing the property and doing all of this. And I think that's great. That was exactly what I was doing too. And I was enjoying it, very, very well. But on the other hand, I wasn't enjoying my family, right? And I was not giving them the time that they deserve. And so I think that's when I had to choose, like, hey, I love this, but I would love more if I have the time with my family and I can see this, right? So one of the biggest things, guys, when it comes to flipping houses, it's on your procedures, on your systems, is don't reinvent the wheel. If you flip a house and you like it, make sure that you keep the same model over and over again, because this is what is going to help your team to get the same result over and over again. When you put a property in the MLS and if it goes within 24 hours with multiple offers, then that's the same style that you want to have for every single flip. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, why? Because that's what, you know, your potential buyers, that's what home buyers are looking for. They like your flip. So keep the same style over and over again. And then from that, what we do is we create templates, and then from that, our contractors, subcontractors, they do it over and over again, and it works. Okay, don't try to do it, you know, today you put you paint a house, let's say brown, and then the next day you paint it blue, and then, you know, no, just keep the same model every time, but only on properties that you feel like there were a big win for your business. All right, so another thing is, sometimes we just think like, you know, like we just have to do it. Like no one would do better than I, right? And that was one thing that I was talking about in the beginning. So let's take that false belief away. Delegating is super important. All right, so let's say that you find a good contractor, right? But what happens to the next, to all the rest, right? Let's say you find a good contractor, but who has to pick up the finishes? Who has to do all the desk work? Who has to request the draws, right? Who's going to keep up with budgeting and all of that? So here is what you need. You need a team that performs. And so sometimes, again, we think that we're going to save a lot of money by not having a team. But what we want is we want to save. Sometimes it's all about like how much time you can save and how much more you can do with having a team. I don't know if that makes sense. You see, like we want to save a lot of time. I'm sorry, we don't want to waste a lot of money, but on the other part, we're not making money because, you know, we're doing it everything by ourselves. But once we hire, then we can duplicate and triplicate our business because now everyone or someone else has control of that. And then that's the only thing that they're doing, and they become so good at it that they can do it over and over again. But if you are doing every single thing in your business, then you can focus on doing one thing by itself very well, to the point that you are, you know, a machine on that, and, you know, getting that result over and over again. I hope that makes sense. All right, so the secret is building a profitable and scalable business with building a team and delegate correctly. So what do I mean with delegate correctly is that I don't know if you guys have, let's say, if you guys have a assistant or maybe a VA, because sometimes we have VAs, right? And maybe you know, they do a few things in your business, right? So one of the things that I learned is delegate roles and not tasks, okay? And that's exactly what I did with my business. So when that happens, when you delegate roles and not tasks, your team can perform, and that's when actually you can step out of your business. So here's what I'm talking about, the team. This is how my team looks like. For those of you that were asking in the Q&A questions about, you know, what my team looks like. My team, it's 2 people. So that's what I need. That's what my business needs. My business needs a transaction coordinator and a project manager. So with transaction coordinator, what we do is with transaction coordinator, the transaction coordinator handles the buying and the selling process, and our project manager handles the renovation. So that way, you know, we are covered from start to finish. So I'm not delegating, you know, a few things here or a few things there. We're delegating pretty much 50% and 50% of the business. And so why a project manager and why not a contractor or remodeling company? Because we want someone who can handle absolutely everything, including draws and budgeting. So when it comes to having a project manager, their responsibilities is we want them to handle the progress and budgeting, and also the time. So the renovation time. So that is really, really important. And that's why we just, have one project manager who can handle that. And then the project manager handles any subcontractors or contractors. So instead of me finding or calling or just finding new contractors and doing the qualification process, right? If I should work with them or not. Like, I don't need to handle all of that. My project manager handles everything. So that's their role. And that's why it's important to delegate roles, because they become so good at that. Same thing with transaction coordinator. They do it over and over again, buying process, selling process. Now, how do we do this? Well, we need to find, we need to qualify people based on their experience and their previous experience, but also they're multitask individuals. I have had people that, they were not multitask, and that was a problem because they couldn't focus, on doing multiple tasks at the same time. For example, project manager, make sure they have experience on project management before, renovations, construction in general, also budgeting, a very responsible person, right? So there's a list of qualification process that they have to go through in order to qualify for this position. Now, establish a pay structure, or establishing a pay structure. It's really, really important, because that's how they get motivated, right? So not only that they get a salary, but also any bonuses or commissions on properties. It helps them very well, especially because we share with them the goal of the business and where or what we want to head every quarterly and yearly. So they have to have a motivation for that. All right. And then last but not least, it's training them on systems so that they can have a high level performance. So for example, one of the things that I was saying in the beginning, like, you can hire a team, but if they don't have the right systems and the right procedures, then it's going to be hard for them to stay in the business. So here's a properties that I never walked, and I was still making, money, right? I don't need to go to closings. I don't need to walk properties, but sometimes I do love to do it. So sometimes I will walk them, but let's just, look at a few properties here where, my bank account was just being hit with properties that I never walked. And now, don't get me wrong, guys, your team needs motivation, right? Your team needs you. And I do have meetings with my team. I make sure that everything looks good. Any questions, they know they can reach out to me. We have, the systems that I'm going to share with you here in a few minutes of, how we keep track of everything and how I keep track of them before. And so here's just a, for example, this property right here, I never walked the property when it was on acquisitions. We flipped the property, and then I made $150,000 with just a few hours on my personal time on this property. So how cool is that, being able to flip houses without you having to spend a lot of time and energy in them? And so that's why it's really, really important, guys, systems, procedures, and building your team. All right, here's another one too of $80,000 in Charleston. Okay, so guys, I hope that you guys can see the picture, right? And can understand what I'm talking about here, because this is really, really, I think for your business is going to be a very transformational, process or goal that it's going to be a life changing for you and your business. So let's do a recap here. Here is all the things that you have to do, right? This is basically like a to-do list, right? This is all the things that I have to do: analyzing deal, that I had to do, analyzing deal, ordering title, dropping earnest money, order inspections, seal 100s, termites, scheduling, closing, communicating. Well, okay, I can mention all of them. That's a lot of things. And so imagine doing this with 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 flips at the same time. That's a lot of, it's overwhelming, right? But in order for you to head to 7 figures, you need to do high volume, but sometimes maybe it's not as high. All you need to do is just organize your team and focus on better deals. Sometimes we're focusing on deals that are $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 on profits. When if you have a good system and a good team, you can, as a business owner, right, you can change your business model. So now, since and for the last 2 years, I have focused on more on $50,000 plus profits. So all of our flips that we're getting, that's our target, a minimum of $50,000. I don't take anything less, unless it's a quick flip, you know, where I'm in and out in 2 weeks. But other than that, that's kind of like our minimum. So between $50,000 to $200,000 on net profits. How much flips do you need, right? So we can brag about like, oh, I did, 100 flips, right? But the cool thing is that you can do or make more money with less flips if you leverage correctly, and if you, if you focus or change your acquisitions, not acquisitions, but your purchase criteria. So let's just say, for $1 million, right? Maybe you need 10 flips at $100,000 profit. So where am I going to get that, or how I'm going to get there? I think when this is what happened to me, when I put systems in place and, and my team in place, then that's when the magic happened. That's when I was able to step back out of my business, right? And take, vacations and relax and think about how can I scale my business. And that's what really helped me, because now my brain wasn't thinking about, oh, the closing for tomorrow, or the renovation here, or what color am I going to paint this house this time? Oh, I need to pick up vanities, right? When your brain is so focused on all the things that you gotta do, like it's in this list, then you can focus as a business owner on how to scale the business. And so that's what happened to me. That's why I was able to say, hey, you know what? We're going to focus on $50,000 plus from now on, and this is how we're going to do it. All right. So delegate everything in your business to the right team. So I want you to put in a comment, if you have the right team, do you think this is possible, right? Do you think you can do it too? Because sometimes we have this false belief like, oh, I don't think that's possible, or I can do it. But let me tell you this, you can absolutely do it. And I did it as well. So absolutely, yes. So, all right, guys, let me see if we're good here on time. Okay. So, let me see here. I'm going to skip some of them, so because I know we have some questions in here. But here's what happened, guys. When you think, when you think you can't do this, you don't scale your business, and there's no difference, in your business, and just the years pass by, right? And you're not able to pretty much scale your business. So, what is the secret? Another secret, number 3. So secret number 3 is, how can you manage your business from anywhere? So in the beginning, I was sharing with you guys the importance of having a system, right? So I was sharing with you guys how I hire some people and then they perform, but they perform with me. And I wanted them to perform without me, right? And so, but that didn't happen because I didn't have systems. So having systems, it's really, really important. And so one of the things, and you probably have heard KPIs, and that stands for key performance indicators, right? Also metrics for your business. I call it my business metrics, which are really, really important. I'm going to share with you here why. But one of the ways to scale your business is making sure that you're tracking everything. So I don't know how many people do we have in here that is tracking everything, right? Or maybe you're not, or maybe you're just writing everything on pen and paper. And on my first flips that I did, I thought I made, money, right? I thought I made $30,000 or $40,000. But once I had a system in place, I was curious to know, like, did I really make money when I was doing everything on pen and paper? So when I put all properties into my new system, I realized that I thought I made money, but I didn't. So, and don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean that I didn't, I was negative. But what I mean is to say is that because of the calculations on pen and paper, it's not the same as having a system. And so I realized that there was a lot of things that I didn't count for. And so that is really important. If you want the same result over and over again, really important to have a system, especially your key performance indicator for flipping. So another thing, it's business metrics. So we have one key performance indicator, and I want to share with you guys here. So behind the scenes on my key performance indicator, so one of the things that this is what it tracks. It tracks renovation, when the property gets under renovation, when it's under contract to sell or to buy, how many properties have we sold, right? This week, this month, quarterly, this year, what are all the times, the actual times for everything up to date, actual profits, expectations on profits. It tracks all the context, or basically all the information for everyone involved on each property, dates, right? Expenses, information, important information in about a specific, projects. It tracks pretty much every single thing, right? So how can I manage my business from anywhere? This is what I needed. I needed a tool that will basically, that I can just log in, right? That I can open my laptop and I can see how many properties we have in the renovation, how many properties we have for sale. Are we making money on this property? And if so, what's our expected profit, right? Did we close a property, or are we closed yet, right? So all of this information, it's put by our transaction coordinator and by my project manager. So that means that I don't have to be in there flipping with them. I can be anywhere and I can log in, right? I can see my key performance indicator. I can see where they at, and I can also help them and coach them by just seeing my key performance indicator. So if I'm seeing something on my key performance indicator, for example, let's say a property didn't close the day that it was supposed to close, right? And it was pushed out, I can see that. I can see if let's say on a repair addendum, we were budgeting $2,500 and then it went $5,000, right? Like I can see all those things, and I can call my team, or I can discuss all of this, right? I can write a sheet. I can write on a sheet of paper all the things that that I need to cover with them based on that key performance indicator. Now, same thing for renovation. Keeping track of timeline. It's really important for renovations. So timelines is really important. We break it on timelines from stage 1, stage 2, 3, 4, and so on. So that way we know where every property stands for. So for example, if a property is on stage 4, then I know that that property, it's ready to go. They're going to be done probably in the next few days, right? If the property is in stage 2, I know that they're still they're putting all the major stuff in the property. So breaking this is really important. And then the timelines. So all and everything that's happening in the business, they're doing it. They're handle that. And I'm just coaching them, and I'm just doing this overview of what's working for them, right? And where the business stands. All right, guys. All right. So guys, we're gonna, I think this is all I have for you today. And I really hope that, it makes sense for you. And I hope that you got a lot of, good information in here. And for the next, for the next 3 people, 5, probably I will probably do 5 people, Tangi. But guys, I will do a free call with me. And honestly, I charge $500 for a 30-minute consultation all the time. But just for this group, I will do a free consultation, not consultation, but a free strategy. Okay, a free strategy just to go over your business. If you have any questions from tonight, maybe you're already scaling your business and you just have a question on like, okay, how do I do this or that, right? So I will be more than happy to jump on a call with you and help you strategically help you on your business. So Tanji, I'll
Okay,
let
so you're
you.
going to do a business strategy call, 30 minutes for the first 5 people. Is that correct?
Yes, only for the first 5 people. Mhm.
Okay. Where is your contact information? How do they get a hold of you to do that?
Yes, so the first 5 people that sends me a email, or let me see here. Actually, I will just put it on my calendar. I will put on my calendar for a maximum of 5 calls. Let me see here. Can I put I think I can put the link in here. And
You can go ahead and do whatever it is and then share the screen. While you're doing that, I'll get ready to go over Q&A. Do that, but let me know who you're using for your CRM. Do you use Podio or somebody like that?
No, so everything for our CRM, everything is Google custom. So everything customized by Google Sheets,
All
Excel
right.
sheets. Yeah, but it's online Google Sheets.
And while you're doing that, so that we give the audience something to think about, who are you using for your skip tracing?
For script tracing, we use IDI.
Okay. We got do you have a setup there, like a link for discounts for clients for IDI?
Yes, let me see here. Sorry,
'Cause
I'm
if you
not on
don't,
my
I do,
actual
but
computer, so.
I'd rather they use yours. Because I know IDI is very expensive. However, they're very good, very, very good. And I do have an in with them. So, but if you have one, I'd like the people to use yours instead. Tim Shannon, I think is his name, but see if we can get yours instead. And are you having VAs do your calls for you? Are you delegating that? Because I know you said you're only spending a couple hours a week, right?
Yeah, so my real estate agents and my TC transaction coordinator is the one who they basically, our agents are mostly the ones who do all the cold calling.
You the broker?
No,
Okay.
no,
But you're a realtor, right?
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not a realtor. When I say I try to delegate everything that I can, I do. And so basically what we do is we have a lot of agents that they work with us. So we teach them, we basically give them the resources and everything, and we have them do all of that for us so that we don't have to do it hourly, in our office.
While you're doing that screen, I'm going to share my screen, guys. The bonuses that I'm going to give you is I'm going to do a buy one, get one free. Today's Tuesday. Let's do it till Friday. Friday the 9th. Okay, so Friday to the 9th. If you buy one county, you get one free between now and Friday. How's that? But you've got to buy a 6-month, which is a 26-week, or a year, which is 52 weeks. And the reason why is I want you to make a longer commitment. The longer commitments you make, the more successful you're going to be, because you're going to be working the list longer, stronger, and harder. And it's going to produce more results for you and it's going to give you time to produce revenue from the list that you're working so that you can do consistent marketing and have results. You don't want to do like a 3-month commitment, because I'm going to be calling you in 10 weeks and be like, hey, it's time to renew. And 10 weeks is not enough time. Not that you're not going to get a deal in 10 weeks. Guys, I've had people mail on a Wednesday, they're getting a call on a Saturday and signing a contract on a Sunday. Happens every day, all day, but not every time. So just set the expectations that it's going to be a little bit longer of a process. You don't have to wait for, let's say, the probates to finish before you can buy the property. Not sure if you know that you can actually buy the properties almost right away. A lot of people think that when you get a probate deal, oh God, it's 8-10 months where the probates is done. It's like one bad apple ruins it for the tree. Like I know in Florida and many other states, you do not have to wait for the probates to finish. Even if if there's no summary administration, they can file an affidavit of heirship. Even if the judge has full authority or partial authority, they'll usually sign off right away. I see that participants are raising their hands. I did mention in the beginning, I don't answer raised hands. Guys, if you have a question, put it in the Q&A chat. So for $999, you get one county, one list. I'm pretty clear on the top where it says each list. But for some reason, after every webinar, everybody always asks me, do I get all 6 lists? The answer is no. You get one county, one list, but between now and Friday, I'm going to give you a second county for free. So if you buy a 6-month commitment or a year commitment, one county, one list, I'll give you a free county by Friday if you sign up. for these discounted rates for being on Ruby's webinar. Okay. Now, Ruby, I'm going to stop my share. Did you get your screen taken care of so we can show your contact information? Guys, take a picture of this if you want. Plus, you get all those bonuses
Yes.
that I promised.
Yeah. So
If
I don't know
get
if
ahold of your-
I don't know if you I don't know, Tanji, but I don't know if you're able to I don't know if you can share this on a comment or something.
Okay, so if you can't, here's what I can do. Did you update it on your slide? If you can update it, save it, or reshare it. Guys, do this for me. Ruby, what are you wanting? Are you wanting to give me an email? Randy,
Yeah, I'll send you an email. I think that would be better. Ruby
Angela's probably on the call. Listen, Angela's probably on the call. Go ahead and announce your email. One of my good people in my chats right now will be kind enough to put this in the chat, and I'll go ahead and share it because I can't actually type in here. Randy, Mark Pedroza, Vic, guys, if you guys are on here, what's her email? Go ahead. What's your email, Ruby?
Ruby at autopilotflipping.com.
Ruby, R-U-I-B?
R-U-B-I.
R-U-B-I, I mean? R-U-B-I
Yes.
at auto, say it again.
Autopilot flipping.
Ruby, R-U-B-I at autopilotflipping.com. Somebody put that in the chat for me. Let me go down to the bottom. Ruby at autopilotflipping.com. Type that in the chat, Angela, Rebecca, Yolanda, somebody.
Okay, I put it on the slide too, just in case.
Guys, take a screenshot. She's got it on there now. Ruby at autopilotflipping.com. If you are the first 5 people to reach out to her, you're gonna need a 30-minute business. What is it? A business analyzation? What was it?
Yeah, business strategy call.
Business strategy call. Okay, instead of a consultation, business strategy call. 30 minutes. She's taking 5 people. Take a screenshot, guys. We're gonna start going over Q&A. We got about 28 questions. Let's go. Okay, what are pre-probate? That's for me, not you. A pre-probate is 1 week after they die. We verify there's real estate attached, and we give the lead to you 1 week later. So it's 1 week after they die. We verify there's real estate attached, and we give the lead to you 1 week later. The benefit of using a pre-probate is not only are you first at the door, but if they inherit the property via a trust, you can buy right now. No lines, no waiting. It'll be a longer process because they haven't filed probate. Most people that have a pre-probate have to go through probate. If you don't have, even if you have a will, you got to go through probate. So most people don't inherit the property via a trust, but some people do. About 7 to 10% of the people that die will have actual physical real estate today. Okay, so out of those 7 to 10% of the people that have the real estate, most of them that die do not own property. But the ones that do own property, most people don't put their property in trust. That's the only way to avoid a probate. Okay, unless you do like a ladybird deed or something like I did, which is a life enhanced estate. So that's a pre-probate. 1 week after they die, there's huge benefits. What top 3 marketing channels has brought you to where you are today? Ruby.
Probates and pre-foreclosures and pre-probates.
It's pre-foreclosure. Okay. Where do you get your pre-foreclosures and, I'm sorry, where do you get your probates and pre-probates from?
Foreclosures Daily from Tanji.
Yes, ma'am. And you've been our client for many, many, many years, haven't you? Mark says, as a realtor, he has access to the MLS in Sacramento Place or in San Francisco Bay Area. I guess that wasn't a question. That was just a statement. You do have access. But the thing is, Mark, is they don't give you access to the fresh probates and pre-probates. You're missing a lot on there. Otherwise, I wouldn't have realtors all over the entire nation using me if they could just get access to the MLS and get that fresh leads. So you are not getting everything that you need on the MLS. And like you get access to what? First American Title. I can't remember what it's called. But you do have access on there to leads, but they are not going to be fresh and you're going to be missing a lot of them. What types of properties are currently buying? Favorite? What types of properties are you currently buying in your favorite market to buy in, Ruby?
Right now we're buying basically in between mid and high end. Those are my favorite properties because those are with bigger profits. And sometimes, you know, they don't require a lot of work. And so I think those are the perfect ones. And one of my favorite markets, it's Charleston, South Carolina.
Charleston, South Carolina. You do higher level tasks. The team does the automatic stuff.
Absolutely, yes.
What tools and technologies are you using?
Right now, well, we used to do like Podio and all those other ones, but honestly, I like to get control of that. So as I was sharing with Tangi earlier, we do Google Excel online sheets, and then we basically customize all of them to our needs. So instead of submitting a ticket, to another company, we basically do it in-house.
Okay, so Google Sheets is good, but I'm going to tell you, and if you are a beginner, Podio is awesome to start with. They will let you
Yes.
use their system for free for a really long time. Now, once you get to a certain level, and guys, if you're at that certain level, you're going to want to pay for it anyway to get to open up to all the abilities they have on there. Podio is free until you get to a certain amount of people. I would suggest using that to start. If you want to do it Ruby's way, get on her 30-minute consultation. She'll teach you everything she's doing, guys, if you want to buy into her program. She's not selling anything on here today. That's what I like about Ruby. A lot of coaches will get on here and try to sell things. Ruby just wanted to give you guys free content. So the benefit of this 30-minute consultation is just to go over your business, kind of see where you're at today. And if it's a good match for the two of you, she'll take you on. If it's not, she won't. I can tell you that right now. It's got to be a good match for her as it is for you. So just get on that 30-minute call. You'll learn a lot. Can you explain the transaction coordinator again if you didn't already? I don't know if you read that question.
Yes, we did cover that. Transaction coordinator, it's basically the one who handles all the buying and the selling transaction. So buy-in from the minute it gets under contract all the way to the closing table. Same thing with the selling process.
Can you tell us what your pay structure looks like?
So pay structure, and it has changed, multiple times, but one of the things that we do is we do a yearly pay salary, and it can be from, it all depends, because I don't want to scare you guys with like, oh my gosh, I need this much of money to actually have a team. Basically what we do at the volume that we're doing right now, it's between $80,000 to $120,000 a year. And then on top of that, we do bonuses and commissions on properties, depending on if do they keep on budgeting and also timeline. And the cool thing about this is that when I started flipping houses, automating my team and hiring people, I have been do W-2. So everything is on 1099. And then what we do is we pay them at closing and not upfront.
How do you fund your deals? Are you using private money? What are you doing?
Yes, so we do hard money and also private money lending. So we do both. On some projects we do all private money, on the other ones all hard money, or sometimes we combine both of them.
Now, don't you have to have enough business to hire a team, Ruby, first?
I'm sorry?
This person wants to know, don't they have to have enough, money coming in to hire a team?
So one of the
first?
things that I recommend is when you're doing at least 3 properties, then that's when you can hire a team. I started with 3 properties as well, 2 to 3 properties, because they need some. Yeah, so you don't need to do 5 or 10 properties and then you're like, I need a team, because at that time you don't have the time to teach them. So when you have 3 properties, you have properties that maybe some of them are under contract, maybe some of them are under renovation, and so that's where you can have time to actually teach your team the process of buying, selling, and renovating. And then from there, they can do the next flips for you. That's why it's important to kind of like, set up your pay structure. What I did is, like I say, I don't pay them upfront. So that's the cool thing, that they are learning and then they're getting paid when the property closes.
How do you start your first flip with little or no startup money? Wouldn't you recommend wholesaling first though, Ruby, if they don't have any money to start?
Yes, absolutely. So I actually started wholesaling. So in my first year, for the first 6 months, I was just wholesaling properties. And then I did my first flip. On the first flip, what I did is I didn't have money to do any type of, not for the renovation or the down payment or anything. So basically what I did is I partnered up with another person who brought the funds for closing and also to start the renovation. And then I took care of basically all the other stuff. So all she did was just bring the funds, and then we split 50-50. And that was the one that we did first, where we made $1,000. It was not that good, but we I basically flip without money, right?
Yes, absolutely. Now people start from the beginning. So do you get the leads from Foreclosures Daily? She said yes on that. She gets her probates and pre-probates from us, and then you buy them. Once you buy them, can you leverage your business task and renovate and flip? I'm not sure I understand that. Once you buy them, you can leverage your business tasks and renovate and flip, question mark. Yes, absolutely. Once you buy the leads, you know, that's the whole point of buying them, is to renovate and flip. But if you can't do that, you can wholesale. Is that the case for California as well? Property as an immediate sale. Okay, so California has a little bit different rules, but you absolutely do not even have to wait for the probates to finish to buy. Even the guy that wrote the book that I mentioned, Kevin Sales, Sayles, that's Kevin Sales, and he wrote Probate Real Estate Sales 101. And everybody who buys leads from Foreclosures Daily gets a copy of this book mailed to you. And even you'll get a copy of the webinar too, teaching the 7 ways to make money with probate real estate investing. And guys, he even says on our webinar during Q&A, one lady goes, because he's in California, he lives there. She goes, but I'm in California. She's like, well, how do you do this if the properties take so long for the probates to close? And his response was, well, it's a good thing you don't have to wait for it to finish. So to answer your question, in California, no, you don't have to wait for it to finish before you buy. You can buy the properties almost right away. I'm going to put her email. A couple of people are asking how to get on a call with you. Ruby shared her email. If you email her, she's taken 5 calls. Email her right now. It's Ruby, R-U-B-I, at autopilotflipping.com. It's on the screen. If you email her, let her know that you want the consultation, the business consultation. She'll get that scheduled for you. Is it 101 free calls or 5 calls? Sent email to Ruby. How do I find out if I'm in? She'll respond to you guys. Ruby, when will they know? Like tomorrow?
They will know tonight. So they will know tonight. I basically after this call, the first 5 people will receive a email back with the link of calendar to schedule their call.
Okay. And are you wholesaling each month? And if so, how many?
No, we don't. I mean, we only wholesale probably about 20% of our properties. Yeah, not too much. We'd like to flip them all or keep them as rental properties.
What kind of software are you using? I think she's already mentioned that a few times, and I have 2 more questions of software. But you know, you mentioned the Google Sheets, you said, and anything else?
No, that's everything is customized in there.
Well, this is our last question. How do you fund your deals? And I think you already answered that. She uses private money. Are you holding any properties or are you just flipping?
We're doing both. We're flipping and holding properties. And if the properties have the 1% rule, then we consider them for a buy and hold. And 1% rule means, like, you know, we're basically, if we buy something for $100,000 all in with renovation and buying purchase price, and if we're getting at least 1% of that, $1,000 in rent, then that means that's something that we will consider to just keep.
Well, Ruby, that was our last question. You know, you've been amazing. Thank you so much. And the content you gave is awesome. And I'm so excited. Guys, email her, Ruby at autopilotflipping.com. Don't think she's already got 5. It doesn't matter. Ruby will work something out with you. She's not going to just leave you hanging in there. If she ends up getting 7 or 8, I don't know if she'll work with you or not, but I'm sure she'll take care of you. Guys, just email her, Ruby at autopilotflipping.com. Thanks a lot, Ruby. It was amazing having you on. We've been waiting all year for this. We're super excited. And you have yourself a great evening. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. All right. Thank you, guys. Take care. Thank you, Tanji. Bye.
Bye, everybody.